Hi guys. It is about almost 12, I think. Yeah, it's a little bit, like maybe 15 minutes till 12. And I've been thinking a lot, in this past, really since I've been retired, about my teaching career, in the span of my teaching career, and all the things that have happened. All the good things and all the not so good things. And I think of all the things that happened to me. I've had to deal with irate parents. Who hasn't? I've had to deal with out of control kids. Who hasn't dealt with that? I've had to deal with other coworkers, jealousy, envy, whatever. Who hasn't had to deal with that, right? I've had to deal with bosses that want the impossible and expect for you to do miracles. Who hasn't ever dealt with that? There was this mug that me and Albert were looking for on the internet because he really wanted to purchase it. It was funny. One side of the mug, it says I'm a teacher. And then on the other side it says I'm not a magician. And we thought that's funny because like a lot of times administrators want you to do the impossible, and parents want you to do the impossible. And then you've got things that happen to you in the classroom that are just impossible. You at the end of the day, you're like, was I effective? Was I an effective teacher? Did I make a difference in these kids' lives? A long time ago, I got rid of the notion of, I want my students, my kids, to like me. And it got to be where it wasn't about that anymore. It was just, am I making a difference? I'm not there to be their friend. I'm their teacher. I am there to teach, and they're there to learn and ask questions. And at the same time, they have to be respectful. And respect works. It's a two-way street. And I learned that a long time ago. If you expect for your students to respect you, you got to respect them. They're kids, but they deserve to be respected. With that being said, I had an incident that basically I thought brought my teaching career to a halt. Those of you that know me know what I'm talking about. The situation, what happened, everything that happened. And I sit here tonight and I think about it, and some people say, let it go. It happened. That's so easy to say if it didn't happen to you. It's so easy to just tell somebody that, get over it. It happened. But it stays with you. It's like you can forgive, but you can't ever forget. And that's me. I just can't forget what happened to me. It was awful. I've been teaching at this point. This was my 27th year, 28th year. And it was awful what happened to me. It should not have happened, but it did. And, at the time I was a teacher that was on a lifelong contract. Way back then when I first started teaching, if you taught like over 10 years, you were automatically tenured. That's where you didn't have to sign a contract or anything like that. And it was great, because you didn't have to worry about keeping a job. You had a job until, this hair's getting on my nerves, until I decided to, this is it. I'm retiring, I'm quitting, whatever. At the time that all of this was happening to me, I thought, okay, they're targeting me because I'm a tenured teacher. What else could it be? The year before, I had the highest test scores in the building. Not in the district, but in the building. It was my first time in this grade level. And I'm not going to mention grade levels. I'm not going to mention schools, names. If you know me, you know the situation. You can comment, whatever, that's fine. So, I thought I was doing pretty well. Moved to a new grade. I love new challenges. I love new adventures. And that's what I looked at this. Okay, they moved me. I'm gonna tackle this like it's a new adventure in my teaching career. And I worked my ass off. Literally worked my ass off. I'd never taught writing before. And it was wonderful. I enjoyed every single minute of it. I thought, I'm going to hate teaching this grade. And I wound up loving it. So the next year I was really prepared. I was preparing. I was prepared, but I was really, really preparing myself. And then I got called into the office. Well, actually, I got pulled out of a meeting because I was in a meeting. And I was told, we're moving you to another grade level, kinder. And you've got 3 days, basically. I mean, I wasn't told this, but this is how I interpret it. I basically had 3 days to pack up my shit, No trace of me in the room whatsoever. Okay. I asked why this was happening to me. Wasn't really given an answer. Just says, this is what's happening. You're here for the kids. Remember, you're here for the kids. I heard that a lot. You're here for the kids. It's not about you. It's about the kids. It's about where we need help. So there was a teacher that was having problems with visa or whatever. I don't know anything about that, but they didn't know when she was going to come back. And I kind of understood that. I said, okay, I can understand that. You're pulling me out because you need me here. Okay, I understood that part. What I didn't understand is, why are you making me take all my stuff home? Right there, that told me I'm not going back into this room. Okay. Hard to believe, but I'm not going back into this room. I wasn't allowed to tell the kids anything, my students, anything. Principal said that a note would be sent home, whatever. And then I was expected to go back to my room and pack up my stuff while my students were there being taught by someone else. They put another person in there that had no knowledge of Spanish. This is a bilingual classroom. No knowledge of Spanish. While I was in there packing up my stuff, and my son was in there helping me. I'm trying to hold back the tears. It's hard. It's really, really hard. If you know me, I'm a very emotional person, so it's hard. And this chick, because that's what she was a chick that they put in there with my kids to teach them. Okay? No Spanish. That's their primary language. Several times I was in there, she told them that they could not speak Spanish. Highly against the law, violating their civil rights. But administration didn't care. This is they put in there to teach my kids. Okay. So the question that I did ask